Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. I finally am able to start making art again. It's been a very long time. I know. I finally found the time. For those of you who don't know, I used to make art daily. And then I've been wrapped up in about 15 other projects, many of which, of course, you have seen. Yes, for those of you who are interested, there is a link in the description below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. Yeah, and there's a lot of really crazy stuff. As you might have imagined or have seen, there's a huge amount of optimism in the cryptocurrency space over the last couple of days. It says Bitcoin has become increasingly correlated with equities towards the end of the fourth quarter of last year and fell when faced with the prospect of central bank tightening. FS Insight said in a note entitled Digital Assets in a Post-Cycle World. The correlation has become more pronounced, with Bitcoin and the wider crypto market now being strongly correlated with tech stocks because of the legacy market capital entering the fold. However, Bitcoin is still king, Farrell wrote, adding that the crypto Bitcoin could reach $200,000 in the second half of this year, following a choppy start to 2022, which we definitely saw in January. FS Insight also said that decentralized finance, non-fungible tokens, and other Web3 applications have driven massive growth of the Ethereum network. Ethereum is undervalued incredibly relative to cloud platforms, and Ether, which is the native token of the network, could reach $12,000 this year. You might remember, whenever there is a huge amount of energy in the cryptocurrency space, people tend to get quite excited about a lot of things that are currently taking place. The idea is, for those of you who don't know, we are still currently in the previous bull cycle that we were in 2021. It was estimated that the bull market would only last for about a good 6, 7, 8 months. And then as we fell down around autumn, maybe winter, where we still kind of currently are, the idea was that as we did not, or Bitcoin's price did not fall below a certain amount, therefore a bear market never actually began, and we were simply consolidating and also in another reaccumulation period, as we've seen before, as over the last 3 or 4 or 5 months. The constant trend that we saw between us bouncing back and forth in prices was highly indicative of consolidation of smaller players who got into the market, decided it was too much for them, and they left when prices didn't immediately skyrocket. And also basically whale players in the space who have been trying to accumulate as much as humanly possible before the price ends up moving back up. The correlation that we've seen, we've also spoken about it here as well because it was a bit too obvious. Nearly every single time that the stock market would fall, Bitcoin would also fall, and so would the rest of the market. But every time there was an inch in the actual traditional stock market, Bitcoin's price would, I wouldn't say skyrocket, but move up quite healthily as well. So we are currently at the point where we have heard multiple times, even just this year, if you want to do the past 5 or 6 weeks, from a number of large analysts who have stated that they believe that and I want to say bare minimum, if you will, that Bitcoin is going to at least pass by $100,000 over the course of this year. I assume if we continue to get closer and closer to Bitcoin's previous all-time high, we are going to have a lot of news and a lot of speculation as to exactly how high Bitcoin can go even just this year. It's also been, it's been a really weird ride because we're not seeing the drops or dips that we used to see about 4, 5, or 6 years ago. Even dips are relatively short, and they usually end up getting news that the corporations have been buying up tons of Bitcoin. And on the idea of a $12,000 Bitcoin, you might remember last year, the idea was that Bitcoin, once we have Ethereum 2.0, is going to reach $10,000. So I think this is going to be a very crazy year. I can kind of feel it in the air. I know I'm not the only one. But if these numbers do end up coming true, they're going to make a lot of people very, very happy. And once again, as Bitcoin is tied to every other coin, if you trade another coin, it's attached to Bitcoin, so is Ethereum. If Ethereum ends up making it to $12,000 over the course of this year, especially around the time when we have the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade, there are going to be a lot of altcoins that are going to skyrocket in price, especially those that are built on top of the Ethereum network. Yeah, that's the analysts are saying that Bitcoin is going to reach $200,000 and Ethereum $12,000 in 2022 news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, it says on average, 8,000 new holders seem to be accumulating Dogecoin amid the hunger for the meme coin on the rise. That none of that made a lot of sense. The recent BSC scan data suggests that the desire for Dogecoin is at its peak, as around 8,000 new addresses on average are joining and accumulating Doge, a leading canine themed meme coin. To be fair, it says, they were like 8. Anyway, the point is, this is very similar to the news that we had multiple times over the last 3 weeks about Litecoin. We saw news that as the Mimblewimble upgrade took place, there were a number of articles talking about how many whales behind the scenes have been accumulating tons of Litecoin. We had news 4, 5 something days ago about the Cardano accumulation and the new Cardano addresses that are also popping up. I think Cardano's daily new addresses were 5,000 per day or something like that, as we just recently passed by the 3 million wallet addresses holding Cardano. We've had this before for Shiba Inu, and we've had it before multiple times for Bitcoin. But now it seems like the Dogecoin group is also joining in on the fun. 8,000 new people per day is actually a gigantically huge amount, especially when you still consider how small the cryptocurrency space is, regardless of how popular Dogecoin is. That's it for the moment as far as Dogecoin news. But once again, I have a very weird feeling about this coin. I have a strange, like an Elon Musk kind of thing. I feel like it's going to happen relatively soon. I don't know what it is, but I'm actually quite shocked that Dogecoin isn't higher. We've gone over the inflation rate and all these other things before, but the amount of energy surrounding this and Shiba Inu, I believe that Dogecoin is at some point going to hit $1, which makes me a little sad because I feel like years ago I could have like 30 million of them, but I don't have any Dogecoin, so sad days for me. Anyway, that's the Dogecoin news, Dogecoin adoption news. And yeah, let's move on. Now, this was quite popular, and I get why, but then again, no. Japan-based Mitsubishi UFJ Trust intends to integrate blockchain technology for settling transaction securities and launch its own cryptocurrency for trading payments. This was reported by the Nikkei, disclosing no details of this announcement, and there's here a tweet for it right here. Mitsubishi UFJ, related to the aforementioned trust, has been flirting with blockchain and companies' cryptocurrency since 2018. Back then, the financial services behemoth trialed its own crypto called MUFG, literally MUFG. Among its employees, it also teamed up with Brazilian Banco Bradesco to trial RippleNet. So this was, I don't want to say like mega super popular news, but anytime that there's news about RippleNet, it tends to be popular. I think a lot of people have forgotten that we are going to have a number of corporation coins that are going to be popping up relatively soon. And I saw people discussing how they could acquire Mitsubishi coin. I don't know why you would want a Mitsubishi coin, but apparently this is going to be like an internal thing. But I think, once again, a lot of the hype around it had to do with the fact that they are, or have in the past, used RippleNet and or are talking to potentially Ripple as well. But when this is finalized, I'm pretty sure we're going to hear about it. But I don't know. Like, do you think that a Mitsubishi cryptocurrency could actually be popular? I feel like it's just going to be a stable coin that's going to be amongst employees, unless I'm dramatically missing something. Anyway, that's the Mitsubishi is potentially working with still using RippleNet, going to issue their own cryptocurrency news. All right, let's move on. Next up, the world's first museum dedicated to NFTs has just opened in Seattle, Washington. And no, it's not online. Making its first public opening on Thursday, the 3,000 square foot Seattle NFT Museum, that's roughly around 300 meters squared, is intended to help visitors navigate the emerging world of NFTs. A part of the mission behind establishing the physical exhibition of NFTs includes creating awareness and improving knowledge of the nascent asset class. In fact, the museum will The museum wall texts serve as, okay, there we go. I was like, what? Explainers for visitors to learn more about their token-based digital art with staff members available for further discussions. They said the point of a physical space is to make it easier for anyone to access. Have any of you recently been to any type of, what do you call them? Like an NFT exhibition? I went with a friend a couple of weeks ago. It might have been one of the coolest things I had ever gone to. I mean, I'm not even remotely joking. It was the craziest thing in the entire world. It was these images that kept on like clashing against each other, and then they formed a brand new image as they were doing it. But like it was in like fragments. I can't explain it to you because it's whatever. But then even upstairs, there was like another area where it was just massively. The point I'm trying to make is, without actually rambling on about me telling you going to museums, try it. It's actually really, really fun. A lot of the ideas have been for a while that NFT museums would be completely online and that eventually we'd have the headsets and stuff like that to be able to put on. But I think as these headsets aren't as popular as they're currently not right now and will potentially be in the future, there are a lot of NFT museums that are actually opening, and a lot of them are really, really, really cool. So yeah, this was actually super popular news. It was all over the place. I would implore you, if you have the chance at any point, to do so. I mean, especially, realistically, if you're able to get outside, if you have that privilege, go do so. Go look at some really cool stuff. Yeah. First one has opened in the United States. I assume there are going to be many others in the US as well. They're catching up steam, popularity very quickly. Alrighty. Let's move on. And to finish things off, several U.S. lawmakers have introduced the Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act to strengthen the legitimacy of cryptocurrency in our digital economy. The bill also aims to expand the use of cryptocurrencies for payments. Representatives Suzanne DelBene and David Schweikert introduced the Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act of 2022 on Thursday. The bipartisan bill is composed, of course, co-sponsored by Congressman Darren Soto and Tom Emmer. I'm pretty sure we heard about Tom Emmer. I'm pretty sure he's like the super Bitcoin, not whale, but Bitcoin supporter. Yeah. The bill, they say, would create a workable structure for taxing purchases made with virtual currency, also known as cryptocurrency. The lawmakers explained it would also expand the use of cryptocurrency for payments and further strengthen the legitimacy of virtual currency in our digital economy. The idea being, for those of you who do not know, within the United States, they are not the only one who is doing this. The idea is, if you move crypto around at all, or if you are paying for cryptocurrencies for anything, you are apparently supposed to be marking this down for taxation purposes. The idea, once again, being, many years ago, there was a lot of skepticism as if people would actually use Bitcoin on a daily basis for payments. Not only because it's Bitcoin and people want to hold on to it and nobody wants to be the pizza guy, but also the idea that Bitcoin sometimes has very high transaction fees. Even if the transaction fee is only 18 cents, which it has been for the last couple of weeks, if I'm buying a 99-cent cup of coffee, I don't really want to pay 1/4 of the fifth of the price just because of Bitcoin's transaction fee. But the other problem is that within the United States, you can't really pay for anything in crypto without being taxed on it. So this is, I assume, why the bill is actually being introduced. I will tell you now, honestly, I have very little hope for this. I think realistically, especially with the SEC trying to encroach so heavily on the cryptocurrency space, if something like this does get passed, I think we should easily expect cryptocurrency prices to really move up another 20-30%, because this is a really big hindrance when it comes to actual adoption. You know, people hold on to these coins without actually being able to use them because everyone's too afraid to use them, because the moment you buy a cup of coffee or a sofa, you have to report that to the tax people, and then you have to pay tons of transactions on top of that. And it's like, you know, not really worth it. So apparently they're trying to do it for any transaction that happens below $200. And it's like, you know, just let people have fun and live and not worry about this kind of stuff. Anyway, so yeah, let's hope this actually ends up going through. I'm telling you, I have very little hope, simply because we have seen since 2014 the way that a lot of laws within the United States have kind of been pushed to the side or simply get reworked, and they end up being terrible, like the bit license in New York. So it would be nice. Yeah, I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking. That's an empty bus. To you all soon. See you.